Hi, it's Nettura. Welcome back to my channel. I am kind of struggling to be like as confident as I usually am, even though I usually still always struggle with confidence. But yeah, I slacked off a little bit, like in my eyes, because I had some shit going on and I couldn't really film. So that's why I uploaded the videos that I did in the meantime. Yeah, they weren't like an in the moment rage thing, by the way. I had been cooking on those for a while, but I just felt like, okay, fuck it, let's go. But anyways, let's move on to today's topic, which is colors in witchcraft. Candle colors specifically. I don't know if I'll be able to fit like aura colors and stuff like that in this video as well. It just depends on the amount of storage that I have, because lately my phone has been fucking up a little bit in terms of storage, even though I literally pay for extra iCloud storage. I pay like €5, okay? But anyways, basically I kind of promised myself, like at the start of my old channel, I actually promised myself that the moment that I finish my grimoire, my witchy grimoire, please, okay, I'm actually gonna like go through it on YouTube and just, you know, talk about the things that I've gathered and show you the pages and just my creativity, really, because a grimoire isn't really a journal where it has personal deep feelings, where I can't show you how fucking pretty I make it look. Well, I'll still show you when I finish it, like just a little bit here and there. But with the grimoire, I can actually like just go all in and show you fucking everything. This is my grimoire. I haven't finished it, but I nearly have. So I have finished building the pages a good long while ago, but I haven't finished like writing, like filling it with information, really. So I still have about like, I don't know, 6 or so pages to fill in. So it's not completely finished, but you know what? I'm really proud of myself for nearly finishing it, and I just wanna fucking start it. Okay, so let me show you my grimoire, like slightly, okay, the start of it, because candles are actually the first thing that I wrote and learned about. Was it candles? No, it was actually tarot. Okay, well, candles were the second thing. Candles were the first thing that I actually understood, okay? Because tarot was the first thing that was taught to me by someone, but I didn't really get it so much. Like, I did, but not as much, because the person that taught me tarot they had a really different way of understanding things and applying things to reality than I did, okay? So like I couldn't really get her way of thinking. I needed to like research it myself on top of the info that she gave me. And yeah, I was still new to this, but let's get into showing you, basically. In second thought, I'm actually gonna change this video entirely. Oh my goodness, I'm so impulsive. I'm not gonna make this solely about colors or candle colors. I'm gonna make this about candles in general, because you know what, it's just one section. So this is the side of my grimoire, okay? I have like the sections. Yeah, I have, yeah, can you, yeah. And some sections are really long, like the moonology, for example, but the candle section is like kind of, can you see, like it's kind of thin, okay? So we're just gonna do the candle section, bitch. So this is what it looks like. I made this when I was 15, I think. Was I 14? Either the end of 14 or the very start of 15, I started this. And I didn't work on it like every day or anything, by all means. I abandoned this like a couple of times. But yeah, that's me, by the way, when I was like 14. I still had long hair. I actually cut it about 6 years ago. I still had long hair over there. Everybody's face that I covered, they're not on my betrayal list or anything. It's just that this is like my witch book. You know, I didn't want to have their energies or this specific time in my life interfere like with my craft, with the way I see things spiritually, because again, this is kind of like spiritual, okay? So things can get manipulated very easily, and discernment can be illusioned. How do you... Discernment can be tainted, yes. Oh, and if you want to see the back, it's basically a manga comic book, I don't call it, yeah. Those like magazines, but it's a comic, yeah, of like Spider-Man. And I picked the most colorful page, but I don't fucking like Spider-Man, guys. So I'm just using the pages to build my pages with. I'm sorry if that's so offensive. But anyways, yeah, I picked like the colorful page to put it at the back, because it kind of matches what we've got going on here. Oh yes, by the way, let's just... I feel so excited. to come back, actually. I've been so excited to come back, and I'm finally back. Hey! So this is the Three of Swords card. This is, it says, closing the inequalities gap to achieve social justice. So yeah, that's something I found in a Maltese magazine, and that quote really called out to me. So I just stuck it over there. These are Seunggi and Yua from the girl group Oh My Girl, which I was absolutely loved them down, okay? Yeah, this is my note to the fairies. I tried working with the fairies, okay, for a while, but they didn't like me very much. So that was the first and the last time. I wrote it in Korean because I didn't want my parents to read what I wrote. This is a lyric from Lana Del Rey's song. This is the fucking Bachi quote about friendship, and that's like our friendship and stuff. It really, yeah. It says my doodle in secondary school, and this just something, again, I found on the internet. Once we open the grimoire, there you go. Affirmations. Okay, I made a envelope for affirmations, and you open it, and there's a bunch of like papers and sticky notes in here. What does it say? I receive back equal measure of what I have given. Okay, queen. I welcome all forms of abundance the universe has to offer me. This or something better now manifests for me under grace in perfect ways. Okay, we got the gist, okay? I literally forgot that I had this because I don't really like look through the book. I just go to the section I want and call it a day. So that's that. Okay, then we have the starting page. Okay, again, not on a hit list. Then I put like, honestly, I don't know what the fuck this says. I had this thing, okay. I absolutely used to be a poser for Japanese and Chinese when I was like 15. Okay, so, and I basically said like what I wanted this book to be about. Let's see if I fulfill them. Okay, tarot. No, I haven't. I actually have a separate journal about tarot that is simply a demo. It's all in pencil. I haven't really made it. So that's that, abandon that to focus on this, because I shouldn't have 20 fucking things to focus on. I should focus on one thing at a time, which am I doing? No, I'm focusing like 5 things at a time constantly, but hey. Chakras, yes. Spells, yes. Rituals. Did I think that spells and rituals were like a different thing? Okay. Numerology, yeah, very short though. Manifestation, I mean, not so much the metaphysical side of it, but again, the spells part of it, sure. So I have like 3 different things with me, which mean absolutely same thing in here. But okay, I didn't notice, okay. Astrology, half, I guess, but no. Birth charts, no. Candle magic, yeah, we're getting into that, guys. Hold on, okay, or just skip this section if you don't want to watch this. Moonology, yes. Oh, that's like the thing that I have the most about on here, okay. I think that's what I've specialized in here. And it's kind of weird because I don't see myself as a moonology specialist, but maybe I should call myself that because fuck, I know a lot, man. I never really knew that, actually. I never, you never notice that you really know a lot about a topic until you see it, like, physically. So, yeah, I guess I am, okay. Cleansing? No? I mean, I never really learned about that. I just figured it out. It's really the easiest thing about everything. Palmistry. So the thing about palmistry is I've always wanted to know about it, but I simply don't grasp it. I can't. I've tried. I literally tried. I have like 2 Polaroids of like palmistry maps and stuff on it. And I was like, okay, I'll make this page about palmistry and shit. And I kept that on for like over a year, I think. Just an empty page that I wanted about palmistry. And I really this year like tried to learn on it, and I genuinely can't. I can't figure out a way in which it makes sense to me whatsoever. Now, under the quote on the side, it says, "Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns." Okay, Sylvia Plath. and many a fellow turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Okay, don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Okay, I like the last 2 sentences, but the start, goofy as hell. Oh yeah, when I was 15, I really thoroughly enjoyed doodling ears. So there's a doodled ear. Okay, And I remember I used to just like stare at people's side profiles in class and just draw their ear, and people probably thought that I was like this fucking freak stalking them, but in reality I just wanted to learn how to draw ears, and I wanted like a diverse ears. I wanted to be able to learn how to draw different types of ears. Okay, so people thought I was weird. I have another envelope here, which has nothing inside, by the way, because I did this with like no aim. Yeah, this was like the first journal I've ever made, like whatsoever. So was it? Well, there might have been others, but not with the intention of them being like a journal. Then I actually start over here, and it's the title, Candle Magic. I really love this like title card that I have. So fucking cute. Let's start with the candle colors. Yeah, you can clearly see I didn't really know how to put effort in a book. I just kind of stuck shit and went along with it. Let's start with white. Let's start with like the most important one. So once again, I'm gonna be a hater and a criticizer here, okay? So there's this thing in the witchcraft community where apparently white is like the most praised candle color, and if you don't use white, there's this thing where it's like you're doing something wrong. Again, you know how I feel about this types of opinions like these. How do I explain this? I don't know how to explain my point. You already know how I feel and what I would like to say when there's this opinion of you have to do it this way or else you're bad or you're wrong or you're misinformed, okay? So we're not even getting into that one. But personally, in my personal opinion, I don't use white too much. I don't like it too much. I prefer to go with the fiery colors, okay? I love the reds, the oranges, the blacks, the silvers, the really sparkly ones, okay? I love a pop of color. Now, that's me, okay? The color white itself, okay, represents purity, innocence, and this kind of childlike wonder. Not wonder, but rather this like fresh, clean slate. I'd say yellow maybe is more for wonder, but white is still used for like childlike wonder, kind of inner child spells and all of these things. White is also used for the removal of negative energy. So basically, if you're doing an uncrossing or a black magic remover kind of spell adjacent to that, you can use white. Now, the main color for those types of spells is black, but white can be used as well. It's actually both are like interchangeable. In my opinion, silver or gray, I guess, as well. Those three colors are kind of used for that. Now, the thing about white candles is they're very accessible, aren't they? Now, I don't know if this rule kind of came to be because white candles are the most accessible color, or if it's just because white is like the clean slate. Maybe it's the second one a bit more than the first one, but I think the fact that white is like the most accessible also played into this. But essentially, there's this rule that, again, you may not abide to it personally. I personally don't, but you can. Again, I used to before, I just kind of grew out of this kind of rule, that white can be used instead of any candle color. So for example, if you want to work with the color red and you do not have a red candle, or you can't find one, or you can't afford to buy candles right now and you've got white, then you can use white instead of red. Now, what I like to do instead of this, because I personally, I don't connect to white so much. I'm literally wearing white today. What a hypocrite. Okay. But I like to use a close color. So for example, if I don't have pink, but I have red or purple, I will use red or purple instead of pink. If I don't have black, I will use silver. If I have silver. If I don't have green, I might use yellow or blue. So I like to go with the closest color that I have to the color that I desire to work with. Yeah, for example, I wanted gold, right? But I've never seen a gold candle actually. So what I did was I had a yellow candle and I put a marker. I have this like golden marker. So the candle was like, you know, those long skinny ones, yeah. And I drew like the first 2 inches of the candle. I drew it with the golden marker. So yeah, you can do that as well. And that's basically what I did. It's like, oh yeah, yellow, but also it's golden, right? Because I made it golden. Love doing that personally. So that's kind of white. It's the blank slate of everything. If there had to be a tarot card, I would say perhaps the Fool. Yeah, I guess the Fool, because it's kind of like the blank slate all-rounder. I would personally say the Star as well, because it's kind of an inner child connection for me. That's what I see white as. But yeah, moving on, let's go to brown. Now, I personally, again, have never seen a brown candle in my life, so I've never really worked with them. Brown represents the soil, doesn't it? So it's for grounding, nurturing, and also for friendship, apparently. I've seen a lot of sources say that brown is incredible for friendship, but personally, I've never made a friendship spell, and I've also never used brown. And if I had to associate friendship with a color, for me, it would be pink or purple. So again, take this, everything I'm saying, okay, take it with a grain of salt, because I'm just me and your craft is yours. This is simply my craft, okay? So I personally would associate brown more with soil. So if I want to plant a seed in my life, then I would personally use it to grow something. So for example, say you want to learn a language and you have tried to learn it, but you cannot grasp it. You can use a brown candle color and with the intention of planting the seed of the language in your head. Now, red is like, let's say, the second most controversial color. Okay, after black, black's the most. Red, I would say, is second most controversial color in the witchcraft community to work with. Now, it's possible that black and red are so, I'm not gonna say stigmatized against and tabooed, but let's say a lot of people have something to say about these colors. Possibly it might be because demonic colors, or, you know, the people that work with demons mainly use these colors, which, like, okay, and I've also seen the argument that red is difficult because it's an explosive color. Because red kind of represents anger, represents rage, and any of these things. But again, energy can be alchemized. So, red is typically used for passion, sexuality, energy, like to gain further energy, strength, courage, movement, love, change, and ambition. Now, let me go through these one by one. So, passion. Where does passion come from? You know, passion, in my opinion, is rarely a feeling in and of itself. It's more coming out of rage, an excess of energy that you can't get rid of, insomnia, or ambition, motivation. So again, I would swap passion, because it's such a broad term, for rage. So if something really angers you and you feel like you've got an injustice, then I would personally use red in this situation. Sexuality is definitely sexual working, libido stuff, lust, and all of that, definitely. Even like to overcome sexual shame, I would say red, orange, as well as yellow are all three colors that are very good for this situation. Now for strength, I personally prefer working with yellow or orange. I don't know why I associate the word strength with the color orange. And also yellow for the strength card in tarot. In general, it's mainly used for red. Courage, yeah. Movement, I again personally associate with orange. On second thought, actually, red for movement makes a lot of sense, but I don't know why I just personally associate with orange, I guess. Love, again, a lot of practitioners advise against using red for love workings and say that pink is better. Personally, purple, I think, would be really great for love as well. Again, because I associate purple with friendship. So it's like you build that friendly bond with someone and strengthen that in order for any love to flourish, if you get what I'm trying to put out here. Also, red is known to be rageful, lustful, very explosive. So you can't really associate that with love, because love has an implication of gentleness and comfort to it. Orange. I actually hate the color orange, but I really love working with it. Stimulation, intimacy, strength. Oh, I already put strength in orange. Okay. Joy, success, attraction, and for materialism. Okay. Stimulation, I would see that. Intimacy, because orange is associated with the sacral chakra, which is the sexual chakra. I personally see red as the sexual chakra for men and orange is the sexual chakra for women, but a lot of people say that orange is for both of them. Strength, as I said. Joy, yeah, joy, happiness, and just euphoria in general. I personally now associate it with yellow, but I can see why orange. Success, yes. In my opinion, orange is like a blend of red and gold. I think to me those make orange. I don't think they do that in reality, but they do it for me as craft-wise. Success, attraction, personally I think movement and stuff like this would go with orange. Sexual healing for females, and also dealing with guilt. Guilt, okay. For materialism, I guess I personally would use green or gold, but there you go. Yellow, so wisdom. I personally associate wisdom with blue. Also, I know you're thinking like, why are you writing these things down the way they are? If you personally disagree with them, it's because I originally made this book to teach myself, okay? So there are things that I grew out of, there are beliefs that I grew out of, and that's why I'm clarifying here. Again, this was 5 years ago, okay? It took me a while to complete this one, wow. Insight, again, I personally associate with blue. Focus, I personally associate with blue. Motivation, I personally associate with orange. Illumination, yes, okay. Yellow to me is the strength card, the chariot card, the sun card. It's exposing, right? What's the sun card about mainly? Exposing things, bringing things to light. So I would personally use yellow if you want to expose somebody, expose something, or if you know there's an obstacle and you cannot pinpoint what it is, yellow would be very good. Blue is more for like sharpening, clarity, like the very sense of it. Attention, again, yellow really gets your attention. Communication and for clarity. Okay, yeah, what I said basically. Communication, again, I associate with blue. So again, stuff that's not in here. Yellow, I would associate with working with shame. Okay, removing shame, joy, wanting to spark something within yourself. Highlighting things as well. If you want yourself to pay attention to something very carefully, yellow would be very good. Now let's go into gold. So working with wealth, prosperity, luck, abundance, and fortune. Yeah, so gold is basically just materialism. If you just want to do materialistic work or attract that kind of thing or understand it, or if you're going into business or school about it and you can't understand certain things, then gold again would work very good for these subjects. Green, I love working with green. Health, healing, balance, manifestation, money, growth, opportunities. So health for green, yes. So in my opinion, health, like, you could do every single color for, because it depends on where you're targeting, right? Like if you're targeting the health of your feet, I would say brown or black. If you're targeting your sexual health, orange if you're a female, and red for a male, in my opinion. Migraines, definitely purple. So again, I don't take this one away, but in general, usually health is associated with green in the witchcraft community. Maybe it's because of like most herbs are green or something. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out why. Healing, I would also associate pink with healing, because pink and green are both the colors of the heart chakra, which rules over grief and obviously love and other things. Openness as well, excitement. Balance, I don't know, I would personally associate purple with balance because of Libra. Money, yes, green is usually used for money. Now a lot of people again use orange for money or strictly stick with gold. Some even use yellow for money. I've seen people use blue. So again, money is like whatever you money is a lot more open to interpretation, at least. Well, everything technically is, but it's more promoted to be open to interpretation. Growth, so I assume like expansion. I would personally say that expansion is orange because flames, fire, lighting up and running, so orange or yellow. And for opportunities, because green again, kind of like brown, I think is like a more abstract version of brown, also a more versatile version of brown, I guess. With green you can plant things. Okay, you can, well, actually I'd say brown is for planting a seed, green is for watering and growing the seed. Possibly blue as well then? Whatever floats your boat. Blue. I actually really love blue, but I don't work with it that often. Blue is for, again, a concentration, psychological sharpening, calming as well. A lot of people use it for sleep work, but I personally use purple for that. Blue is as well for the throat massively. So if you have issues with confidence or stuff like that, both yellow and blue would be very beneficial. I personally associate blue as well with physical health because usually most illnesses happen in the throat or in the mouth or stuff like that. Usually you have a cold, you have a cough, you have all these things, right? So blue would work for that perfectly because it's targeting the throat chakra. Inspiration. Again, inspiration, I would say purple or yellow would be great as well. Peace, yes, definitely. Peace, calmness, an element of just swimming peacefully. Intuition, I would say intuition is more like a indigo or a violet. Insight, I don't know, I barely know what that means. Relaxation, communication, and memory. Okay, memory, I would say again maybe dark blue and purple, but communication, that's the main thing that I personally associate with blue. Communication. If people are taking too long to respond to you, blue would work out. If you personally struggle to communicate or you want to confront someone but you don't have the confidence to, blue. If somebody in a workplace is being verbally hostile to you, blue. Blue is very versatile because it can be used in a variety of situations that have to do socially. So we're moving on to the next pages. I left a note saying, white reflects other colors, black absorbs other colors. Use black with white always. Again, I don't agree with this anymore, but it is a rule I believe in the Wiccan space. Put all your energy into the candles, especially white. Oh yeah, maybe that's why I don't like working with white so much, because it does feel really empty to me. Now I like this page a little more because I kind of like bridged them together. So that's what it looks like. And I really like how he wrote this. Filled with poison, but blessed with beauty and rage. And once again, something in Japanese. I'm pretty sure one says I, which is love, and I can't read the rest anymore. I used to be able to read that. Purple. I love talking about purple, but again, I don't use it too much. Spirituality, wealth, royalty, idealism, visualization, wisdom, divination, spiritual and ancestry connection, inner peace, and purity. Okay, I disagree with some of these off the bat. So purple is spirituality, sure. I mean, I've never really worked with the very concept of spirituality, so I can't tell you. I don't really associate it with a color, but I think white would work very well for that. Wealth. A lot of people associate wealth with purple. Royalty is symbolized by purple. So wealth and royalty, there's a kind of mutual association. However, I don't really use royalty as a concept. So to me, wealth is more like golden greeny. So that's just me. Idealism. Okay, Plato. Maybe it's like if you want to bring an idea to reality, if you visualize something a lot and you want to see it in front of your face, maybe you could use purple, like that type of oh yeah, then I say visualization. Yeah, maybe that's what I was referring to there. Wisdom, I agree with. Divination, I personally believe that every candle magic is a form of divination. So spiritual and ancestry connection, I don't work with ancestors. I don't like the idea of that, so I can't tell you. Inner peace and purity, instead of inner peace, actually I would say third eye work. Anything to do with your third eye, with your subconscious, with your unconscious, with the realms that you go to when you're not awake. Purity, I completely disagree with. Purple is far too dark to be used for purity and childishness and stuff like that. Purple is very serious. I also associate it with authority, maybe because again my association of purple with the sign of Libra, and Libra kind of rules contracts, authority, basic law things. I'm saying basic because law in general is more Scorpionic and Sagittarian, but that's kind of the filter that I have over purple. Pink. let's go to my favorite color. I love working with pink actually. So love, self-love, affection, harmony, friendship, sweetness, affection, and soft joy. I was getting really creative with my adjectives. Okay. Love, definitely, as I explained in my red section. Self-love, again, I don't know why I used to separate love and self-love. I think they are one, they're a mirror of each other, etc, etc. You get my stance. Affection, definitely, like if you want to learn how to be more affectionate with yourself or treat yourself a bit more gently, you're struggling with a lot of self-criticism and stuff like that. Also, pink I would associate for empathy and dealing with grief. Friendship, as I said previously. Harmony, yeah, relationship harmony. If you want to heal certain relationships, there's a lot of conflicts, you want to build a relationship with someone who's very avoidant. Sweetness, I guess, like if you want to enjoy your life a bit more and you're struggling to just live in the moment, maybe pink would be very good for that. Soft joy, I don't know what I meant by this, but again, maybe loving your life a little bit more. It's like adding sugar to your spell, kind of. I personally associate pink with femininity. It's the main feminine color. I didn't say masculinity. Masculinity I personally associate with red or blue a lot. Pink is very feminine and it's a little bit interchangeable with green, again, because they rule the same chakras. Now, personally, I believe that green is the main color of the heart chakra. However, pink rules the higher heart chakra. So there's this thing. Let me show you a little diagram. I drew this with chalk pastels approximately 2 years ago. And it's the chakras, okay? Going up all the 12 chakras. Now, as you can see on the heart chakra section, I have green and then there's a bit of pink. And that is called the higher heart chakra, which basically rules the area of the space in between your chest and your collarbones, just the upper chest essentially, and the lower shoulders. And for me personally, that area is more bridging the gap between the 4D and the 5D a little bit. It starts from there, that bridge. Let me show you this diagram again. If you want to work with candle colors and you want to know their association with the body parts, there's that. There you go. And this is like the pole of the soul, and then you keep going up to the general aura that you have. Silver. Now, I love working with silver. I love, 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 love. Now, I only started with working with silver recently because I found them at the shop and I had never seen silver candles in my life before, or gray at that matter. So I just bought a bunch and I kept buying them because I just really enjoyed it. So silver, inspiration, intuition, clarity for decision making and unblocking. Inspiration, again, I don't think there's really a color for that necessarily, but that's, you know, the general, I guess. Intuition, maybe. I personally associate blue and purple with intuition. Clarity, again, I associate silver with the Ace of Swords card a lot. So clarity, sharpening of the mind, it's really similar to blue in that way, I guess. And decision making, again, critical thinking, bridging the gaps between emotion and logic. And unblocking, so as I said about white previously and even black, yeah, very circa 2021. Unblocking, again, I personally use black for that one, even red to be honest, because you're like forcefully removing things with red. Red is like the force, black is like the honing in of the dominance. But people use silver for it too. So what I personally use silver for is I kind of use it interchangeably with white and black. To me, silver, I mean, it literally has black and white together, right? Well, it makes gray, but I've never seen a gray candle, so I use silver. You get my point. But yeah, I kind of use them interchangeably. So I use silver for baneful stuff, making things a bit more sparkly, because silver is very like sparkly and reflective. I use it for feminine energy type of work. I use it for decision stuff. So again, I personally think that silver is very, very versatile, even though it's not a very popular color. Let's go to black, the most controversial one of all. Call them a beauty YouTuber if you may. So breakthrough, control, domination, banishing negative energy and evil. I don't know if I meant banishing evil or just evil, point blank. So, breakthrough definitely, because I associate black with dominance. Kif inpoġġi bil-qiegħda? Kulħadd jiddeċiedi li jgħix fil-kuraturi. U ukoll 10 minuti wara li bdejt ġie l-ostju tal-bigella. So tittismani inkompli nieqaf.
You should do the cut and action. Sorry, you don't know when to cut.
No, I can see it on my face.
Oh, okay.
I can see with the way I look, like that I need to cut this part.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I actually mentioned domination. Yes. So again, breakthrough and domination for me are the same word. Control. So again, if you want to do some manipulative work, control people, I assume that people that host destiny swaps use a lot of black for the control part of it. Again, not my cup of tea, and I am judging you for this one this time. Banishing negative energy and forces and evil. So again, I personally also associate black with entities. Now, I understand that I'm saying entities, not egregores. So I'm not saying deities or gods or any of these things. Neither am I saying ancestors, nor just dead people and ghosts in general. I'm saying entities, like the spirits, the ground spirits that take form and manipulate themselves, shapeshift into human souls in order to trick you. That's what I'm saying, entities, okay? That's what I associate black with. So black is very good for banishing entities, for warding them away, for, I don't know, manipulating them back if that's what you want to do, for getting them to work for you instead of annoy you. Again, I've never personally done that. I just wore them away, but you can do that as well. Now, again, black has this very negative connotation because it's very widely used for Satanists. And I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, that the Wiccan community put the rule of, just like the threefold law, for example, that black should always be used with white just because, which is, it's associated with Satanism. So you know my stance on this one. It's very clear. Okay, I finished what the colors mean and all that. Now I have a little tiny note at the side, colors for hexing. I don't really use the word hexing personally anymore, but cursing, I guess, for cursing people. So black for bad luck and death work. Red for speed, anger, violence, or hotfoot. I haven't heard that term in a long while. Less common, purple for domination, loss of power, and addiction. So again, here is showing the association with authority. Addiction, maybe because purple is also very Neptune adjacent a little bit, and Pisces and Neptune rules addiction, so maybe there's that. Green for sickness and loss of money. Again, I assume green's used for sickness because of the health connotation, and loss of money, again, the money stuff. Yellow for legal trouble or illness. Now, I don't personally know the difference between sickness and illness, but there's that, I guess. Maybe, no, I wouldn't say mental illness because I believe that would be purple. Or black, even psychosis would be. I don't know, okay? Legal trouble, yellow. Again, I don't use yellow for baneful stuff at all. I personally associate yellow with very happy, jolly, manic pixie dream girl type stuff. So again, there's a connotation for that if you would like to use that. Now I have a little section which I need to unstick, because the thing about 15-year-old me, I was very reckless with glue. And by glue, I mean, you know, the yellow, it's literally right here. This one, okay. I love this glue, but I used to be very reckless with it, and like literally the first couple pages are impossible to read because they're just completely stuck and ripped and just full of fucking glue. So yeah, oh, I think you know what I used to do. I used to work on the pages and immediately close the book instead of letting them dry.
So again, mind my stupidity. Ugh. Okay, I have a whole section. You can read. Super cute. I have a section, candles for illnesses. So allergies, blue and purple. Anxiety, red. I would also say purple for anxiety. A cold, green, blue, purple. I don't see purple for that. Depression, orange, blue, red. I don't see it whatsoever. Blue maybe, and black personally. Insomnia, blue. Again, I don't think so. It would be red to create energy, right? With insomnia, you have to create energy. I also misspelled the word insomnia. I put a double M. Indigestion, yellow. Okay, I see this one because yellow, solar plexus, stomach, stuff like that. Sure. Fever, blue. I don't think so. I would say red because again, heat, excess energy. Headache, green or blue. I don't see it as well. Personally, I'd say purple or red. Even black, purple because of the crown chakra, third eye association, red, excess energy in your head, and black just because I don't know. I think black would make a lot of sense here. I can't really explain it, sorry. Left a little note, decorating candles. You can decorate your ritual candles with herbs, leaves, dry flowers, oils, even putting different colored wax over it. I've actually never done that. Ooh. Oh, I should do that. The coloring with the white. Oh yeah, I should do that. I have never done this. Wow. Okay. Now again, I have the opinion nowadays that you don't only decorate the candles that you're using for ritualistic purposes, but like again, I just decorate any candle because I just love doing that. Oils, if you aim to attract, you dress the candle from top to bottom to vanish. I assume I meant banish from bottom to top. Now, I personally don't use oils on candles because every time I've done that, I've caused a fucking disaster and nearly burnt my house down. So, but a lot of people use it, especially on TikTok. So again, don't try this at home. Here, put that in here. Danger, warning. Then I have a little cute note. Everything is a sign if you can read it. Super, super cute. Olive oil can be used for anything, just like white candles. You can spit into the spell jar to emphasize the spell and give it more of your energy. You can burn wax crayons instead of candles. Definitely. I've actually done this before. I used to do this for cord cutting. I had these like little box of Chinese crayons and I used to burn them for cord cuttings because they were too annoying to draw with and too tiny. And I also don't like to use like really big candles for cord cuttings because I don't want to waste my energy on cord cuttings if I'm removing the thing that I'm trying to waste my energy on. So, you know, I do it really quick and let's go. Flames, I have a section on what the flames mean here. Normal and steady, everything is going normally, spell will manifest. Huge and steady, lots of energy, fast results. Low and steady, patience and slow results, hardly visible. I cannot read this. Obstacles, not the right moment. I would personally think that you might be obstacling. I don't know how to say this in English. Causing an obstacle basically from the wax. So for example, if the wax is pulling around the candle cannot burn. The wick cannot burn because there's too much wax and it's like drowning in it. So again, maybe that's the issue here. But if that's not the case, then okay. Obstacles are not the right moment. Flame dancing, if you don't have wind around you. High energy might have unexpected results. Spirits might be at work. So there might be spirits dancing around it and causing it to dance. Flame is sparking, spirits or demons. So either there are negative spirits around you, like entities, for example, or the spirits, if there are like good spirits around you, or just ghosts and stuff like that, or just ancestors, whatever, they might be showing that there's a demand coming out of you in order for your result to come into fruition. Anything else? Oh yeah, there's more. Okay. No, I didn't write about this. Okay, let me tell you. So if there is like, for example, this is the jar of the candle and the candle's burning here. And the jar is going really like black inside. Okay, there's like black clouding. There's a lot of obstacles in your way, and By obstacles, I don't necessarily mean like things, what do you call it, limiting beliefs, but I mean like physical obstacles, because black is not about the metaphysical. Black is very earthly, it's very 2D, okay? It's the foundation, it's the void. So there are things at work that are physically against you, or someone working against what you're trying to manifest, I guess. Black shaping, but I think it is like the flame and there's like black on top of it. Yeah, like a smoke kind of. Wick too long, or negative energy or bad luck. If white suit is being burned, good luck and positive energy. I assume purity, or you have like also maybe a lack of intention a little bit, because white is very empty, isn't it? With candles, you can catch a deity's attention, but it's not enough as an offering. You can draw sigils on candles with eyeliner or markers. Okay, and then I have a little mixed lyric, which I'm not gonna read because it's a bit cringe. And the Lana Del Rey lyric. Okay. Notes. Candle randomly goes out or won't light. Now is not the time for this. Jar or container breaks or shatters. Stop whatever you're doing and think about it. Do not return to the spell. In my personal experience, yes, this counts. If it breaks, it means like you're not understanding that what you're trying to bring into your life is not meant to come to your life at all, so it just won't. You're wasting your energy, kind of thing. Now about the wax. If a lot of wax is left at the bottom or at the front of the glass, so in the bottom or the south pole, okay, the physical world, there's some baggage and obstacles stuck to the physical world that is preventing you from manifesting the thing. Top? What do I mean by top? I think I mean the north pole of the candle. Like, okay, this is the candle, okay, this is the south, it's facing you, the north is like this side, so at the back, okay, would be the spiritual world. There's baggage there. To the left side, past things, past baggages, or just karma that you have to fulfill within your soul. And right, you will create baggage in the future. Connected rings. So if you have the jar and there's connected rings like that, like left inside of wax. Time frames. So count the rings. Example, 10 rings means 10 months, weeks, etc. Broken rings, delays, consequences of events or obstacles. Clouding. So just, you know, when the jar goes a bit gray and foggy. Illusion. Something in the situation you're not seeing and missing information. Wax all around with clear center. So if there's wax like all over the thing and in the very center it's empty, there's no wax. Blockage affecting every aspect of what you're trying to enhance here. A small ring of wax all around. Blockage is temporarily moved. I don't believe this. Okay. So I'd assume it would be that the blockage is easy to unblock, and you just have to like just journal about it a little bit and it will go away. So it's not necessarily like a huge blockage or something. Big chunk of wax at the bottom. Spell is not strong enough, but it has helped. Wax stuck in the front area. Issues or blockages regarding sex, money, or other physical world things. Wax on the left. Issues, blockages regarding the past. Wax on the right, issues, blockages coming in the future. Lots of wax residue might mean that the spell needs to be repeated or heavily continued. Use tarot to see which suit comes up if you need further context or about timing. Although it may start affecting. I don't know what this means. Okay. And that's done. I see. Well, I had a little part as well at the back about candle stuff. Let me show you. So this is my calendar, I guess. I don't know. Work day spell, what? Weekday spell work routine. Okay, I have a whole thing here. But at the bottom, I have colors depending on the days, which is something I said before. So black, this is what I personally associate, okay? Black, Monday and Saturday. Brown, Thursday and Friday. Silver, Friday and Saturday. Gold, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. White, Saturday, Sunday. Red, Tuesday, Saturday. orange Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, yellow Thursday, Sunday, green Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, blue Wednesday, Thursday, purple Monday, Tuesday, Friday, pink Monday and Friday. Okay, I think that's done. I'm pretty sure I'm done with candle stuff, so I don't think I will make a video about it. I don't know if in the future, but not in the near future, because I've exhausted myself talking about it, and I don't think there's anything else I could add to it. I guess like some obvious things, like you can stick things on candles and decorate them yourselves, and you can make your own candles if you're into that. There's a lot of stuff about that on TikTok. You can look that up and figure that out. Be careful with oil, and I don't know what else I could say. So that's that. I hope you enjoy the 𝓝𝓮𝓽𝓽𝓾𝓻𝓪 theme we have today. So as you can see from my makeup, well, the background, first of all, the background, okay? You know, I like to do my edit background things. Yeah, I actually do that little by little with my very fingers. Okay, I work very hard on those, and I do it because I absolutely love doing that. I've loved doing that since I was like 11 years old. So that's that, and I made one today. So yeah, and I matched my makeup to it. I hope you like it. I mean, it kind of matched it to my shirt, but the blue is very like the 𝓝𝓮𝓽𝓽𝓽𝓾𝓻 type of thing. Yeah, I also have blue eyeliner and eyelashes. Super cute. And oh, you didn't see this. Yeah, I have a stick, and I tried to draw like the eyebrow on the stick because of the fact that the stick covers half my eyebrow. But yeah, that's that. Oh, I never run out of things to talk about, do I? So I also DIY'd this shirt when I was, I'm not sure if I was 15 or 14. I think 15. But yeah, it's actually a huge shirt. Well, I was a lot bigger previously. It was just an ugly white t-shirt with a rainbow on it, and I actually had a lot of memories in this shirt. I just really loved it, and I can't really justify leaving something in my closet if I'll never wear it again. So I decided to fix it up and make it personally wearable again, because I love it too much to let it go, and I don't like keeping these that I don't wear. So I, yeah, cut it up, made it funkier, you know. I made a neckline with pins. And I also splattered some black paint on it because I love black and it goes with everything, and I love a bit of contrast. And anyways, that's that. I love you. Thank you so much for watching me. So you've been hearing me this whole time. That wasn't even loud. Wow. You can tune into my channel if you enjoy me. I know the way I explain things. I know it sounds very narcissistic for me to say that, but just witchcraft things in general, or just spiritual, or just critiquing spiritual ideologies and stuff like that. I also want to start making some videos regarding the MBTI cognitive functions, so I hope that doesn't like ruin the theme of my channel. I have ruined the theme of my channel the past like month already, so I already feel a bit for ruining the aesthetic a little bit of the way my videos are like after each other. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm not gonna make this channel solely about witchcraft. I want to expand into just my hyperfixations. Really, it's just a channel about my hyperfixations, that's all, and the things that I really deep dive into. So yeah, I really want to start talking about MBTI and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're really into that, or if you want to learn about that, then again, stay tuned again. So yeah, that's that. I love you. Goodbye.